Okay, I'm recording. We can go. I'm going to turn this.
Can I start right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Khoo. I'm all the way from California, and I'm sending greetings to all of you. Thank you for inviting me to this webinar through Zoom. And I'm very happy to do a short presentation of myself to the rest of the people that's joining our program today. And personally, I joined Natural Plus because of my illness. I had cancer, melanoma stage 3, and that's how I came into this program. Otherwise, I do not know what's MLM, okay? But for me right now, I'm in this program for 3 years. I'm doing very well. And my group is growing as well. I encourage all of you to use me as an example so that they can know how I went through. I had cancer, melanoma stage 3. And when I get to know this product, my mentor all the way from Malaysia gave it to me. And I only took 2.5 months for the product with super lutein and Izumio, and all those 2.5 months gave me back my life. Of course, I did chemo as well, but you know what? Many people do chemo. If you research them, out of 10, 7 or 8 will die as well. But here I'm very fortunate because I took Natural Plus product, and so far I'm doing very well. And it has given me back my life. And I'm so happy and thankful that I'm in this program. That's why I'm all out to share this program to every one of you who's out there, who's listening to me or who's looking at me. You know, Miss Katie said, "Oh, Ben, your skin is very good." I said, "Oh, are you sure?" I don't know whether you can see my skin, no, it's good or not. But you know what? This is all about Izumio. Izumio has given me a lot of happiness. And actually, I've done 7 scans in my cancer. So everything is gone. So far, I'm cancer-free still. So so far, I'm very good. And you know what? The product, this super lutein is also doing very good for me and for a lot of my team. Just to tell you something about super lutein. Super lutein is awesome as well. Even though a lot of us are promoting Izumio every day. But you know what? Super lutein is very good as an antioxidant for our body, number 1. Number 2, super lutein is also very good for nerve ending. My wife and one of her friends, they went to see a specialist in Kaiser in California, the specialist. What is good about super lutein? And then you know what the specialist said? The super lutein is perfect for eye, for AMD, for glaucoma, for floaters, for retinal diseases. Those are very good. And you know what? The next thing is, the interesting part is, the next part that I always emphasize is very good for nerve ending. What is nerve ending? Our bodies are full of nerves. From the heart to the big nerve, to the vein, and then to the capillaries. All those are nerves in our body. So your nerves can be from the head to the leg, everywhere there's nerve. What do they do? According to the specialist, he said they will open up all the nerves so that the blood can go through, and more blood going to the different part of the body. They bring oxygen, they bring food to the different part of the body. So let me tell you, some of the ladies in Las Vegas, they told me, "Ben, don't talk too much about super lutein. Don't tell my husband to take too much super lutein, okay?" You know what they said? "Oh, don't tell my husband, because you know why? They make me overwork." So you know what? I said, "Well, it's good for the husband. They are natural Viagra. So this is the best part about it. Why not?" So then the lady, don't tell them. Otherwise, I overwork." I said, "No, you have to do more job on that." But anyway, super lutein is really good. So you can see, super lutein is doing me good. I'm 70 years old, by the way, young man. I'm old man, but I call myself young man. But you know what? It's funny. But you know what? If you take super lutein and Izumio, you will do really good. and I believe in the product, and I share with all my heart. And our teams are growing. So I hope all of your teams are growing as well. If you need any help, you can always call me, and I'm always there for you. Okay? Thank you very much.
Does anybody have any questions for him? As far as like maybe how many super lutein and Ezola did you take when you were fighting the cancer?
Okay. When I was told during that time, I take 9 super lutein. I took 3 in the morning, and then I took 3 in the afternoon and 3 in the evening. And during my time, the Ezola was kind of shortage because during that time, Ezola was not out. So I was lucky because Mr. Raymond Chung, every 2 months come in to the United States here, and he brought me 3 cases. So during that time, I take the maximum is 3, sometimes 2. When I run down low, I take 2. But actually right now, I do not encourage to take 9 in a day. That's the way how I took it. I have designed a program where somebody, they start from 7 o'clock in the morning, they will take 2 super lutein, and every 3 hours later take 2 super lutein. So the maximum they can, I ask them to take is about 10 a day. So that means from 7 to 7 is 10 hours. So then they'll, in between the 10 hours, they'll take about 10 super lutein. And then we will ask them to take 10 super lutein just like 2 months. And later on, we can ask them to reduce the super lutein. But as for the Ezola, I took 3 a day during my time. But I think right now, according to what we heard from Dr. Gus Nicholson, Nobel Prize nominee, he suggested us to take 4 a day. That is if our pocket say okay. But otherwise, you know, 2, 3 should be okay. But the best shot is if you can take 4. I have quite a few people who has a cancer in my downline there, and they are following this program, and they are doing very well. Thank you.
Anybody else have questions? Do you have any members with pancreatic cancer?
Actually, we have one here, but this guy in Loma Linda also, he has pancreatic cancer, but not pancreatic. Like he has cancer in the bile duct that's connected to the pancreas. And that guy taking Ezola and super lutein after like 2 months or 3 months the most, I think. And you know, the cancerous cell in the bile duct move out to the open space. So the surgery, instead of 5 to 6 hours, he came out with only 1 hour or 1.5 hours. He already came out. So the wife was so scared. What happened? What happened? But actually, this is one case where the cancerous cell that has been in his body for about 4 or 5 years, and is growing. And with the help of Ezola and super lutein, they came out to open stage. So the cancer, he has no more cancer in his bile duct.
Wow. How long was he taking the product before the surgery?
About 2 months to 3, because he ordered 2 sets for my wife. I think 3 sets the most. But after the surgery, he's now continuing the super lutein and the Ezola.
Did he have to go on chemotherapy?
No, he didn't have to. The cancer came out by itself. You know, the cancerous cell came out through the bile duct. Otherwise, you have, you know, the doctor said, I have to do the surgery today, you have to take insulin every day from day 1 to day. But the thing came out, so he didn't have to do any surgery, no chemo, no nothing. So it was good.
That's awesome.
You know, for Ben, he had radiation treatment, right?
You had radiation treatment, Uncle Ben?
No, I only do chemo. I did 3 chemo. 3 chemo each time, 5 days in the hospital.
Oh.
And come home 20 days. And after that, first time when I did the chemo, I have to lie down on the bed for 10 days. Very, very weak. Second time I took the product, I went into chemo. I only do 3 days lying down. On the fourth day, I could drive to the hospital, which is 37 miles away from my house. So it was good. And the third chemo, I came home with the 2 products. I only have to rest 1 day, and the next day I went to buy food. Amazing.
Okay. Anybody else have questions? Yep.
So did the doctor say do not take supplements?
I can hear you.
Okay. So her question is, did the doctor tell you to not take any supplements, or
Yes. Yes.
and so you just did this on your own without listening?
When I went in there, I have no knowledge about Nature Plus. When I first went in, they asked me to go in. They told me, Ben, no supplement over the counter. Period. So you know what? I'm a fighter. I don't care what the doctor say. She may know a little bit more than me, but anyway, that's my life. So I took without her knowing. But at the end of the day, when she realized, she told me, what are you taking? Tell me. So I said, I take super lutein and Izumio. Okay, show me. They give me the name of the company. She typed on the computer and said, oh, this good stuff. Go ahead and take. So that's how even one of my surgeons told me, hey, Ben, I don't care what you eat. I don't need to know what you take. You are good. Keep going. I say, yeah, I'm keeping going. That's why you see my skin so fair, like what Miss Eddie said. Wow, you have a good skin. Yeah, I did.
So what Uncle Ben does now is actually he puts Izumio on his face every single time he drinks Izumio.
Yes.
So when you see his skin is really flawless. He has really nice skin. So when he sent me the picture that he took for me to put it on my flyer for today, I zoomed in and I was checking out his skin. And he said everyone on his team is doing that as well. So every time they're drinking Izumio, they're rubbing it on their face as well. So I do that every once in a while, but I don't do it religiously. So he told me this morning, you have to do it consistently and be persistent, right?
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, we have a few ladies, the face was really black. I mean, dark in color, very dark. And I said, okay, start doing Izumio every day. Make sure you faithfully let me see it. I want to see your face by next week and next week. And now her face is getting better. And the dark, what you call freckles, they are gone. So if you are faithful, you know what? My wife told me to look in to buy some cosmetic for her. One jar is $400. I said, my dear, 400 is too much money for me. But I said, but if you put the jar there for one night, any difference? None. But if you do Izumio, 25 minutes, you can see the skin is tightened, and the freckles are slowly but surely they will go away. So that's why when I had cancer, my face was horrible. If I show you my picture, I think you say I look at like 90 years old. But anyway, now I'm only 50, I think.
Anybody have any other questions for him? Oh, yeah. Okay, one person, my girlfriend has a friend who has kidney cancer. And he only takes Izumio twice a day.
Okay, you know what? Let me introduce you one my downline here. She's Joan. She's a nutritionist and she's very good at answering this question. I'll pass the phone to her, okay? She is 1 second.
Hi, I'm Joan.
Hi, Joan. Thank you.
You're welcome. 2 pouches of Izumio water is inadequate. It's just enough to help remove free radicals. But if you really wanted to shrink that tumor in the kidneys, you really have to be aggressive. And you must include the super lutein in it. Because both super lutein and Izumio water work together hand in hand to remove or reduce the size of the tumor. Okay, so encourage them to do that. And here in California, I just had a patient who had a kidney removed because of cancer of the kidneys. And they're afraid that it might be in the other kidney. So because the other kidney is still in him, he started the Izumia water. We have him taking 3 to 4 a day for the first 10 days to flush out the toxins. And then in about another week, because he just started this week, in another week he will be starting the super lutein on top of the Izumia water. So we will see if we can reduce the 2 tumor cysts in the other kidneys within 6 to 7 weeks, because we are going to do another MRI scan on it. Does that answer your question?
I guess that her friend is just happy that he can taste again.
That's good, because remember that removing the free radicals help the whole body. It just does not help the one organ we're trying to help. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back to Ben.
Wait, Joan, I have a question. So how long have you been taking the products?
I have been taking the product since June of 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and yes, my face does look a lot different.
She's my disciple, see?
I started from, I didn't believe in the skin part for a while. So I decided to do half my face.
Oh.
Okay. Half of my face is a lot smoother than the other half because it's 2 months behind. The other half is 2 months behind in the treatment, but there is still much, much better. I used to suffer from rosacea, and my skin is going to feel like sandpaper. Now, every time my patient, they always ask, can we touch your face? I say, sure. And they do. And then one of my patients is in her 80s, and she had bad skin from a lot of health issues. She saw my skin, she knew me when I had my rosacea, and then she touched it. Every time she come and see or visit me, she wants to touch my face.
I think your husband kissed her many times and more, I think, when the face was smooth.
Well, only Ben would think things like that. But what happened is that they couldn't believe that she compared my face to the butt of a baby. She said, it's baby butt skin. And you know how baby butt skin feels like when they're born, because it is really very smooth and soft.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, and I know Ben encouraged people to use the mask on a weekly basis because that helps to speed it up. But being a scientist myself, I always try to do things in an experimental way. So the next time I'm going. By the way, this is what the mask package looks like. It's a white piece of mask that is paper made from like filter paper. You use the and it's a lot softer and thinner than the filter. So this is where you can look at it. I'm not sure whether you can see this.
You can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
And you just dampen it with Izumio. Put it on your face. Let it sit for 20 minutes or 25 minutes while you do your housework, watch TV, whatever you're doing, working or signing up your downline on the computer. That's what I do. It's downtime for me while I'm entering data into the computer for my downline or making orders for them. I will put on the mask.
So when your mask starts to dry out, how do you add more Izumil to it? Do you use a spray or do you just re-dip it?
I just pour it. Yeah, I pour from the down. You know, because it's paper, it will absorb. You just drizzle it right across your forehead, and it just goes right down. And yes, you can do it a second time. You know, Izumil is after you crack it open, it's good for another 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So what I do is I always leave some in the pouch, and you cork it back and you tip it over.
Yeah.
Make sure that you cork it really tightly, because otherwise it'll leak out and then you lose all that precious water. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you do is you tip it upside down, and I reuse it, but I do it within half an hour to 1 hour. Izumil is too small a pouch for me. I drink a lot more water when I'm working, a couple bottles in the morning and a couple in the afternoon. So, so just 200 cc's is small, and so I can finish it within half an hour. Just have to remember to keep it for my face.
So do you suggest your patients to use it, the products?
Yes, I have some patients that I have tried on. I have a patient on insulin pump using 500 units of insulin a month through the pump. Wow. And he was, because of the cost of it, and I cannot provide free samples every time, he was only doing it 3 times 1 week, 4 times the next week for a month. He reduced it from just half-time use of the Izumil in about 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks to 6 weeks. His insulin came down to 300 IUs.
Wow.
After that, he's off the pump now. I have not seen him for a while since I've not been into the office. So he probably will call me soon on my cell phone to ask when he can have some more water. So, but he was only using the water. He was not using super lutein. But if he had used both, he would have control. I do know with diabetes, you can bring down your A1C drastically with that. And even people with dialysis, we have found out that it can help bring down the phosphorus. You know, phosphorus in a dialysis patient usually spells death at an early age. They start to fail their treatment because the blood vessels start to thicken up and stiffen. But Izumil and superlutein can kind of soften that blood vessels right back again, so that it has a longer lifespan. So you can encourage people you know to use it. Okay?
So if someone has dialysis, or someone, let's say, is starting to go into kidney failure, or maybe their kidneys are only 30%, would you suggest they take both products? And if both products, how many?
Yes. Depending on their weight and depending on GFR and their BUN and creatinine levels in the blood, they need to talk to someone like me, someone who knows about superlutein and Izumil, and yet work as a dietitian.
Okay.
That's why I am trying to recruit as many dietitians as possible onto this team, because we can help these patients avoid dialysis a little bit longer. I've been in practice since 1980, and in the last 10, 11 years, I have just made different changes. In fact, there is one patient that came into mind. She delayed her dialysis for almost 5 years by making changes to her diet. And that is even before superlutein and Izumil time. Imagine if I had that, she would not be on dialysis today. All right? So
tell them about Johnny.
Well, we do have a member here in Loma Linda, Johnny, who is called the man of diseases. Anything wrong, he would be on it. Okay, he has diabetes, he has kidney failure, he has prostate cancer, he has a stroke, he has gout, and he has neuropathy and retinopathy from the diabetes. He's on dialysis because of his kidney failure. He's on oxygen. Anything wrong, you can find it in Johnny. Today, he is walking without any walker or cane.
And he drives.
He can even drive, though legally he shouldn't be driving. He stopped using oxygen when he's on dialysis, and his dialysis time was cut down from 4 hours to 3.
Wow.
That is amazing, because usually for dialysis patients, you only get longer and longer and it gets worse.
Right.
And also on top of it, he's starting to lose weight. Okay, so
Wow.
that's,
The reading was good too.
and his blood sugar are no longer reading 500, 600. The most is 130, 150 if he's bad. If he's a good boy and he watch it the night before, his reading is as low as 100. Sometimes he said that it is also 84.
Wow.
Okay. So it is amazing. You can be very proud that we have a product that we can say change a lot of people's lives. And that is the truth. All in my group, except for a handful, are people with a lot of health issues. In fact, they joined my group because of their health issues. Okay, and a lot of them are recovering their health slowly because of financial needs. But anyway, they are recovering. And Johnny is one of the faster recovering. We even have someone recover from a comatose state, had been comatose from a massive heart attack for 9 months.
Oh.
1 pouch of Izumio for 5 days. He started moving his leg. Another 2 days, he started opening his eyes. Less than a month of Izumio, 1 pouch a day through his tube feeding. He's starting to mouth, asking for kisses from his wife. I tell you, he was so delighted that he is even alive to ask for kisses because they had no hope. He was just comatose like a log. You have to move him, you have to move the whole body. He cannot help you. Now he can help. He can even fight you if he doesn't want to do what you ask him to do. So that is amazing. That's what I call progress. And that's all because of 1 pouch of Izumio water. Today, he's getting 2 pouches and 2 super lutein a day. So we hope that he can be kind of go on a therapy program where they can remove the trach so that he can learn to breathe on his own. And we are hoping that he can also eventually sit up in bed on his own accord with only 1 person to assist instead of 3. Right now, he is a 3-person assist for turning, for changing, for even just moving him from one side to the other side of his body.
Wow.
Okay? So these are some of the stories that we are seeing in the Loma Linda group.
So I do have one more question from someone. They wanted to ask how much Izumio you recommend to control phosphorus, and how does it work to control phosphorus for the dialysis patient?
In the dialysis, what I do, I allow it according to their weight and the water. If they're not retaining water, I allow more pouches. In fact, I think the limiting factor in my dialysis patient is not the fluid, but rather the money. Because, you know, the more they drink, then the more they have to buy. So if they can get this without worry on the finance side, they can drink as much as they want because it will remove. In fact, I'm experimenting. I shouldn't use the word, but one experimentation, I saw him this last week, and he had just lost the use of his kidney totally. And he wanted to even produce a drop of pee. That's why he told me, if I can even just produce one drop of pee again, I will be ever so grateful, because I will not be complaining about it. Because he just recently, he's been on dialysis for less than a year, but he lost complete use of his kidneys. And sometimes that is what happened. Sometimes dialysis will help you recover your kidney use. Sometimes it doesn't. So we started him on the water. He's coming by on Monday to pick up some water from me. So we are hoping that the water will help to the kidney cells and see. So the water is any amount that they can have. It will only preserve the function of the kidney cells. The second thing is the water alone is not going to do it. They must be on super lutein too. And the super lutein is based on their lab work. I do believe the super lutein will also help the anemia of the chronic disease, because a lot of the dialysis patients have very low hemoglobin and red blood cells. So hopefully we can help them by kind of treating their whole body with the super lutein and the Izumio. Super lutein, start them with 1 a day. Check the next month's lab. If it is okay and it's improving, then go to 2 super lutein, 1 at breakfast and 1 at lunch. The most they should have is 3, 2 at breakfast and 1 at lunch. Shouldn't there be more than 3, because the function of the kidneys are compromised, and the fat soluble vitamins can sometimes we overdo it, and it can harm their kidneys a little bit before it recovers. All right. Okay. Here, Ben is going to come back.
Okay. Thank you.
I think we are done, are we?
She's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
So, anybody else have any questions? Oh, how did you? Yeah, that's your PSP. That's your personally sponsored person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. How did you meet her? Was she your dietitian or your nutritionist?
No, she was my long time ago classmate. Yeah, we grew up together in college together, but I one day when I went to I talked to her in the parking lot. In a parking lot when I met her, because she went to school, I was going to that school doing something, and I said, I told her I have cancer, and then she said, okay, I'll look into it, I send patient to you. But she never did. For 8 months later, she came to me, I'm signing up tomorrow. I said, why? What? Are you sure? Then she signed up because the husband has cancer in the ear lobe here, and after that she took the super lutein and the Izumio for how long? 3.5 weeks. After that, no more cancer in the earlobe.
Wow.
Another
Yeah.
webinar.
Yeah. Next time we have a lot more. Next time we can do more. Okay, we might be taking too much of your time.
Okay. So everybody, okay? We're gonna move on then. Okay. Thank you, Uncle Ben. So you guys can
Thank you,
still listen.
everybody. I see a lot of faces there. Thank you.
So you guys can still listen in. We're gonna switch now to Satomi. So
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, you guys mute your volume, and then I'm going to introduce Satomi Watson.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, So I would like to introduce Satomi Watson. I met her also at WLI. She is a Grand Spirit Achiever, but I found out that we don't really talk about Grand Spirit once they hit a star. Grand Spirit's like not that important once you hit star. So Satomi is also, just like Uncle Ben, a Grand Spirit earner as well as a Star Achiever. And I am going to unmute. Are you unmuted? Can you talk? Okay.
Yes.
And then,
Hi.
okay. And then
Aloha.
yeah. Okay. So she kind of became, I don't know, we became really close really fast. Yeah. We became really close really fast, and we had a good time together.
Oh yeah.
She and I both like to,
We are party people.
yeah, we're party people. So anyway, she was my hangout person, and we had just a blast. Anyway, so we're super close now, and she's one of my good friends. So this is, without further ado, this is Satomi Watson. She's actually in Louisiana right now. She's from Seattle, but she has her team, as you can see behind her. She has her team, and in Louisiana. So they're gonna give a presentation now. Okay, your turn.
All right. Well, hi everyone. Aloha. I'm Satomi.
Aloha.
Hi. Well, thank you so much for inviting me and to the your training, and I'm so honored to speak to all of you. I like to share about like how I learned about the Natural Plus and how Natural Plus changed my life, improved my life. About 3.5 years ago, that was back in February 2014, I learned about the Natural Plus for the very first time. And at that time, I'm actually originally from Japan and live in Seattle for about almost 25 years. And I'm a single mother raising a son, my son who's 18 years old now, by myself, and all my family are back in Japan, and I am pretty much like by my own. And then I have a small business with my business partner and a best friend, Midori Kikuchi, who is also in this business. She's a Summit Achiever here. And then Midori and I have been working together for almost 20 years together. And like I said, we have a small business doing exporting building materials, and then doing some kind of like also like a healthcare product, more likely introducing from United States to Japan. And that's what we are doing. And we both work from home. And then, like I said, like 3.5 years ago, financially, Midori and I, our company is doing okay, but it's always been, it was always paycheck to paycheck to me. And as a single mom, I just, realized that, actually reality hit me that my son was a freshman in high school, start talking about college, future college option. And then I realized that I didn't have any money. I don't have any money to support him. And I even don't know if I have enough money to support myself. And then I got so scared. And then physically I was healthy. I was taking care of myself. I was healthy, but financially I was not healthy at all. So I was, I just tell everybody that we have a word called, I was suffering from the, what we called kinketsubyou in Japanese, what means no money disease. So I was suffering from no money disease, and then it scared me, and it actually made me sick physically and mentally as well. And then that time that the Midori and I have been working so hard, so many hours, in front of a computer most of the day. And then one day that, Midori said, we've been working so hard, so many years, but we don't really see the increase of our income if we're doing the same thing. And then she said that we need to find something we can work smarter, not harder anymore. So then one day that, one of our business friend from Japan, Tokyo, told us about the Natural Plus opportunity. And that time, I was a little bit kind of get skeptical about it because It's a network marketing business.
Everybody.
Oh, there's Midori. And then I thought that was not for me, but our friend said that, I don't usually listen to a network marketing opportunity, but I decided to listen and trying to find out because Natural Plus, this company is a little bit different. So we thought, okay, well, she said a little bit different. I don't know how different, but let's hear it. So Midori and I actually listened the whole business presentation via Skype. We are on the home, and it was like a 10 p.m. at our time, and we connected via Skype to the to Japan Tokyo headquarter office and listened the whole business presentation. And to be honest, I didn't really understand the whole system and what kind of product they have and everything. But one thing it's really stuck my mind, and one thing that really got my attention was that there are a lot of people, actually really elderly people who's making great income, and then more than 40% of those people are 60s and older. And when I heard that, somehow it just automatically can go like, this company's product must work, and in this company's system is something that it's something I really wanted to find out. And then later on, that we got connected to a salon in Osaka, and I actually had an opportunity to meet those people who are making income, and they are on again we're on the Skype, and then we actually met some people having like a nice tea time on the salon in Osaka, and then there are 4 ladies sitting on the table and having a great time, looks like. And then our client at that time, he actually interviewed those 4 ladies, asking how old they are, and they are all over 70s, 71, 72, 70, almost 5. Everybody are over for 70 years old. And then he asked those ladies how much they're making, how much their income are, and every single person there said they're making more than 10,000 a month, and some of them is making almost 30,000 a month. And then I felt like I got wow, they really exist, and then they really exist. And then I know that my teammate here is always laughing when I said this, but I thought, this grandma can do it, I could do it too. That's what Midori and I thought. So, and then we didn't have any risk to start, because as you know, it's what are you doing, Midori? Yeah, that's my business partner, Midori, and my best friend. So anyway, but yeah, there's no risk involved, but because when Midori and I started our business, we have to put a lot of money in to begin with. And every time we start doing something new, we have to put a lot of money in anyway. But this is just, purchase only 1 product a month, and so what? Nothing to lose, and there's no risk. So we joined, I joined in the end of February of 2014, and then started to develop the team. And then we actually, even before, to be honest, even before the product came, because that time, Natural Press USA was not even open yet. So we have to purchase the product to the team from Hong Kong, the global, Natural Press Global. So even like I was waiting for the product to come, we are all over. We started to excited about the business opportunity, because we totally believe that Natural Plus could help me to get over my no money disease. I could be, I don't have to suffer from that disease anymore. I totally believe that. That's why I run it. I took that opportunity and then believe in it, believe in myself, believe in Natural Plus, and run it with it. And then 3.5 years later, now that my son graduated from high school, and then actually soon as my son graduated high school, my child support ended. So till then I had a nice amount of income came from my ex-husband, but that's not anymore. But I was, like I said, I was so afraid that I may not be able to support my son go to college. But Now my son is in college out of state, and I was able to support him. I've been able to support him financially, and then I'm very, very proud to be financially independent, and then also, physically healthy too. That Natural Plus product also helped me going through kind of menopause that time. I had some menopause sort of symptoms. Before that, I had some brain fog 3 years ago, but taking the super lutein for a few months, and I realized that I don't have it anymore. I was actually losing hair a lot every time I shampoo, but start taking the super lutein and then the Izumio, I don't have any more issue. I have tons of hair now. So anyway, but definitely helping Natural Plus helped my life and improved my life, and improved my not only my life but my son's life. And then a lot of people who I met through Natural Plus, they changed their life with Natural Plus product and a business. And like Kathy said, I am right now Lake Charles, Louisiana, with my teammates, my dear business partner, Ezola Thomas, and Will, and then many of you here. I mean, you can't really see everybody here, but I'm here to support their team Glow. And then I live in Seattle, and how I actually start the team here is very interesting. I wanted to share that. It happened about a year ago. Midori and I, and then we all went to WLI. In the last year, company NPUSA took us to a 7 days nice Caribbean cruise from New Orleans. And then till before that, I've never been to cruise, and never been to Louisiana. So that on the cruise, we are really ready to have a good time. So, we want to eat and drink and dance and all kinds of stuff. And then, because I wanted to, eat and drink and whatever I want to, so I wanted to be a good shape to do that. So Midori and I decided to go to exercise class in the morning at 7 o'clock in the ship. So then I met a lovely lady. Her name is Janet, and she's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. We started talking, and then she said, where are you from? What do you do? And stuff like that. And I said, well, actually, my business. I do the business, and then my actually business company took us to the nice cruise as an incentive trip. And then she said, wow, that's very nice. What kind of company is that? So I said, I represent a Japanese wellness and health company, and we promote the eye care supplement, also hydrogenized water. And then she go hydrogenized water, I never heard of it. And then I just happened to have that, Izumio with me. Of course, I always drink Izumio after workout. So I had an Izumio with me. So I told her about the Izumio. Then she said, oh, maybe this might be good for my sister. Her sister is, Janet actually was came to the cruise with her sisters. And so she thought that it might be great for my sister, that she has some health issues. So then the next morning, she actually came with her sister and me and Midori, and we exchanged the business card and product information that's there. But cruise is really nice that you actually spend the whole week with the same people. So we actually run into each other many times during that cruise. So we became really good friends. And then at the very last day of the cruise, me and Midori asked Janet if we want to have coffee together or just learn more about the each other and then our business and product. And then Janet said that I'm not interested in really the product. The business, but maybe the product. And I said that's fine. But the smart thing is Janet Janet brought her sister Ezola here. And then Ezola came together, and then we sat on the library on the ship start talking about our story of how we got involved with this business. And then at that time that Ezola had a appointment, so she said, like, you know, I only have 20 minutes. But I remember as soon as we start talking about our story of how we get involved, she stood up and went outside. She said, I'll be right back, and came back, and she canceled the appointment, and she said, I'm good. I'm ready. You know, I'm good. Just tell me about it. So we shared all the story of how we got involved in Natural First, how great company, that what kind of product we have. It's gone through like a small business presentation, and at the end, Ezola said, "Okay, I'm in." And then I go like, "What do you mean you're in? You just wanted to try the product or what?" Then she said, "That too, but I want to do business with you. I want to be your business partner." That's how it started it, just a year ago. And then here Ezola started to, Ezola and Janet, her sister Janet, started to business here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And now we have private group here. That's why I'm here. And then Ezola actually have a great, Ezola, Will too, has a great testimonial. So I want them to share it for you. All right?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Let's get Ezola. Come on, Ezola. All right, just say.
Hello.
So when I had gone on the cruise, prior to me going on the cruise, I had been limping on my right foot for 3 months, and the doctor didn't know why. They had given me 2 medications to take, and neither one was helping. But when I signed up in the business December the 2nd, and I started with Izumio, within the first 5 days of me drinking Izumio, all the swelling and the pain had left out of my foot. So then in February, I started with super lutein. And prior to me getting super lutein, 2 weeks before that, I had gone to the ER twice, once each week, because my blood sugar was 500. And the day that I got super lutein, my blood sugar was 398. So I took 6 super luteins that night, and I went to bed. And the next morning, after I brushed my teeth and everything, I checked my blood sugar. It was 155. And then the next day, it was 120. And from that day, I have never taken anything until this day for blood sugar, for diabetes. And then a few months later, I had to have a wisdom tooth extracted at the top. And I'm saying to myself, how am I going to get Izumio in my mouth in order to stop the bleeding? So when I got home, I took one of the masks, the facial mask, put it in a cup and soaked it in Izumio, and I put it in a balled it up and put it in the back of my mouth, and I laid down on the sofa for 15 minutes. When I took the mask out, there was no blood on the mask. I was not bleeding anymore. Took my tongue and felt in the hole. The hole had started closing up. The next day, the hole was almost completely closed. And I can say that versus a year before that, I had a tooth extracted, and it took 6 months for that tooth to close up, for that hole to close up. Being a diabetic, it took 6 months for that hole to completely close up. But with Izumio, it didn't take any time, like maybe a week, and it was completely closed up. So in July of this week, my family had gone camping, and we were sitting by my brother's RV, and my son, who's 44 years old, he sit there with some shorts on, and he crossed his leg, and when he did that, I saw that he had this huge chemical burn on his leg from his thigh. It was above his knee on his thigh, and it went down below his knee. And so I asked him what happened, and he explained to us how he had gotten the burn. So I asked him, did he go to the doctor? He said no. I knew he hadn't gone because he always been a person not to go to the doctor. So after I got through fussing at him because he didn't go to the doctor, and this was 3rd-degree chemical burns I'm looking at, I asked my brother's wife, did they have some Izumio, knowing that they did because we carry Izumio everywhere we go. So she went inside the motorhome and got some Izumio, 1 pouch. I took paper towels and folded them up in small squares. And I packed them, put them all over his burn. And I put Izumio on each one and put it on his burn. And then after that, I poured the Izumio on each one again, and then I had him drink the rest of it. I did that 2 days in a row. Well, the next day we left to go back home, so I just forgot all about him in that burn. But my daughter told me about a week later. She said, "Mama, did you know that Hayward's leg was completely healed 2 days later?" And I said, "Well, no, I didn't. I hadn't talked to him." She said, "I mean completely healed. After you put Izumio on his leg, 2 days later, it was completely healed." So I called him and asked him about it. He told me, oh yeah, Mama, my leg is fine. And he sent me a picture of it, of his leg, and to show me how it was completely healed.
So firstly, a little bit. I want Ezola to kind of share the business side of it.
We cannot hear what she's asking.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I'll tell him.
Oh, okay.
She wants me to share the business side of Naturally Plus and how it has changed my life. Okay, so when I came into the business, Satomi told me, she said, "I'm gonna go to Lake Charles and help you build your business." I said, "Oh yes? Well, when are you coming?" Because, I'm testing her, okay? Because she lives in Seattle. And this is a long way. We're across the country from each other, okay? And I said, "Well, when are you coming?" And she said, "Well, I'm going to look at the calendar and I'm going to call you back and I'm going to let you know." So I'm waiting, okay? So she did. She said, I can come February the 2nd. So she came and stayed from that Thursday until Sunday. And so anyway, I got started with the business. Then we had people to sign up in the business. And from there, we just been sharing the business with everybody, everybody we come in contact with almost. We try to share the business with them. However, I think it was just 1 month after February, I started making income. And when I tell you it Naturally Plus have changed my life, it has changed my life. And I'm looking forward to doing great things with Naturally Plus like Satomi and Midori and some of you all. And we are making money. All of my team is making money. We are all proud to be a Naturally Plus.
Yay.
Connection. We make the connection.
Yes. So the team here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, they are called Bayou Connection. That's their team name.
Because we are the Bayou State. So we are Bayou Connection. We connect with everybody we come in contact with about Naturally Plus.
Okay. That's awesome. Does anyone have questions for either of them? Sorry, I'm asking them if anybody has questions for you folks so far. Nope. You want Will to give a testimony?
Oh, Will?
Well, yeah, come in, Will.
I'd love to do that. I'm Will. Hello. Aloha. I was fortunate to meet Ezola through a friend of mine. And after meeting her, she continuously got on me about coming to a meeting. I'm not a meeting person, but I went to a meeting at her sister's house where they had great food. And introduced the product to me. It was that night, I think it was, the first night that I went to a meeting with her, that I determined that I did want to get into the product, not necessarily as a business partner, but as one who used the product. Thus far, I've gotten the greatest experience with the product, both the Izumia and the lutein, super lutein. I have been battling with my blood sugar, and it has been skyrocketing and everything else. And for the last month, I've not needed to use the medication, and my numbers have been very low. And you know, I'm very pleased with that. The blood pressure has been very low, so both of those medications I've not needed to take. I also have a problem with my kidneys. About 2 months ago, I was in the hospital for 6 days with acute kidney failure. I'm really putting it on the product and saying that has really helped me through my issues. And I'm just grateful that I met Ezola, although she loves meetings. I'm really happy I met her, and I hope we'll have a long relationship through the product. Yes. And also, Satomi, I'm excited that she's here in Lake Charles and at my house with us. She's brought a lot of resources with her and a lot of encouragement to us. So thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right. Well, thank you. And then the reason I wanted to share the story of how I met Ezola and started this team in Louisiana is like, you really never know who you're gonna meet. And then to me, the natural process is not like a 9-to-5 type of job. This became my life work. So I can pretty much do it as a 24/7. Anywhere I go, I can actually meet people. Although I was really shy and then kind of introverted. I stay home all day. Single mom stay home all day without family and not many friends. And then but someone like me could do this business, and so that I'm actually kind of living the proof of this system works, because if I thought that the grandma can do it in the great business in Japan, and I thought I could do it too. Now single mom with no experience on MLM network marketing business, I don't have great business degree or anything like that either. Could do this was because of the system, because of the product, and then a lot of things because of the teamwork. Went this far, so anyone can do this. That's what I wanted to share. And then again, you never know who you meet. Maybe you meet someone on your grocery store or your doctor's office, just sitting next to each other. You never know. So yeah, opportunities. And I mean, you can find opportunity anywhere. So thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have questions for Will, Ezola, or Satomi? Nope, none at this time. Okay, so we're gonna actually have Elliot give a presentation about. Okay. We're gonna have him give a small presentation about why he joined, how it came about that he actually made it a business, and what he actually got out of going to convention and Go Japan. Okay, so I'm gonna try and move this a little bit so you guys can kind of see him talk. But you'll be able to hear him because he's gonna speak on a microphone. I'm gonna try. Okay, let's see how this will work. I'm gonna try doing it like this. Let's see. How's about this? Is this okay, guys? Okay, can you see him? Did I remove something? Did I do something funky? Satomi, you can see him, yeah? Okay, okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone in Louisiana.
Turn it up. On top, top, top. Okay.
Aloha, Louisiana. Can you hear me?
Midori is in San Diego with her team.
San Diego, California?
Yep.
Is Benjamin still there too?
Ben is in LA, yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to face these guys. Okay. Okay. So I think Kathy wants me to talk about two things. How I got started in business and then what I got out of the trip. Okay. So interesting story, how I got involved in this business. So we are a member of the Honolulu Business Network. We meet every Thursday for lunch, small business owners. And Coincidentally, Kengo was in this organization many years ago. Kengo, how many years ago was it? 8 years ago. So that's how I met Kengo. So in 2014, when Kengo first heard about Naturally Plus, he had called me and asked me if I'm interested in coming to a meeting. Will, a meeting. And I said, no, thank you. I didn't want to come to a meeting. What is it about? Well, it's a product from Japan, it's a health product called Super Lutein. And I said, you know, I'm really busy. I just started a new job. I really don't have the time. And so I actually turned him down. Kengo is persistent. And 8 months later, he called me back and he goes, Elliot, you have to come to a meeting. And you have to hear this about this company, about this business, because the product is really great. It doesn't only help with the eyes, it helps with other ailments, and it's helping a lot of people in Hawaii with their health. Don't you know anybody who's sick? And I said, yeah, I know a lot of people that are sick. They would just come and listen. So I tell my friends, luckily it was in March, it was no NFL football that Sunday. And so I went to a meeting, Will, on a Sunday afternoon. And it was all in Japanese, but luckily there was a translator. But because they had to translate it from English to Japanese and back to English, the meeting was 4 hours long. And so we listened for 4 hours, but something clicked. And I decided to share this product with some people I knew that had some health ailments. So to skip a few months, or a few weeks, I should say, I shared with some people, and then I decided to share with somebody at our HBN meeting, which is on a Thursday. And I thought I'd speak to this attorney, and the reason I picked him was that his wife was from Japan. So I decided to talk to him to see if his wife would be interested about getting into this business. And just so happened, sitting next to us was Kathy. And overheard us talking. Now, really, I was talking to this attorney, not talking to Kathy. Kathy goes, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, it's about some new health product from Japan. And she goes, what is it good for? And I said, well, it's good for the eyes and other ailments. And she goes, can I listen? I said, sure. So I started talking to this attorney, and he didn't get it, but Kathy got it. And so I think like Satomi said, you never know who's going to be interested in this business. The person you think would be interested are not, and someone else who you think maybe would not be interested, they're the right one. So never prejudge someone, never overlook anyone, because the person that you might ignore might be the next star or spirit earner. Okay? So to jump ahead, we just came back from convention. Now, I didn't make WLI like Kathy did this year, which is great, okay? This business is not a pyramid. The person you sponsor, if they work harder than you and go out and do it, they can actually overpass you. And I think that's what's great about this business, okay? The person sitting in this room today that's brand new can actually pass the people that sponsored you. And I think that's the only fair way in life, right? Those who work hard should be rewarded for it. So I did qualify for GoGo Japan. The company, I think, is smart enough to realize that it's not just the top earners that should be rewarded, but the up-and-comers that maybe are one step away, they also should go to these trips, because they'll give them the motivation and the incentive to try to achieve the top level. So a few of us here in this room went to this GoGo Japan, which is 3 days shorter than WLI. But when we joined the rest of the group, they were already pumped because they had been 3 days, you know, eating and drinking and bonding with these other people. So got us motivated. When we joined them, we kind of rode the wave, the motivation wave. And we joined them, and from that first day, we went to that onsen and ate that night and bonded. And from that first day on, the momentum just started building. And I explain to people, it's not any one thing that you have to go for. In other words, don't just come for the festival convention. Don't just come for the food. Don't just come for the drinking. Okay, it's everything. It's everything building up, one thing after another. So from the first day, the second day, the lunch we had, that 13-course lunch, unbelievable. Then the next day we had that dinner cruise, that tempura dinner cruise on the river. And then, you know, it just kept on building every day, like better and better. And then the last day, the convention, even though it was great, we were already on cloud 9. We didn't even need the convention, right? We already were feeling so motivated. The breakfast every morning, the buffet breakfast we ate every morning. So every day it just got better and better. And then by the last night, that dinner, we had that formal dinner at that hotel. It was like the Halekulani Hotel in Hawaii, first class dinner. All you can drink, right? The Wagyu steak. And they made all of us go up on stage and commit to come back next year. And of course, all of us, we gotta come back, right? So I think just to let the people who are new that did not experience Go Japan, you gotta go next year. Even if you can't achieve double alignment, we all should try for that, okay? But if you can't make it, at least go for the Go Japan portion. And then I guarantee you, whoever went to Go Japan this past year, we're gonna be double aligned next year, okay? No doubt about it. The belief in us now is way higher than it was when they went. And we don't want to miss it. We can't miss it. You know, the bond, the learning experience, meeting these other people that are on the agenda today with us, we want to be like that. And you know what's really neat? All of us here can be like that. This is not pie in the sky where you go to other meetings and they go, oh, you can make it, but one guy's made it in the last 10 years in Korea. You know, but we really well know it's impossible to make the top. In this business, we can all make it. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So, Midori, are you ready? You gotta unmute yourself, I think. Okay. Yeah. Super loud. I'm gonna yeah.
This is Midori. I'm gonna make her big.
Sorry. Wait, where she went? What? Oh, there. Oh, okay. Ah, すごい大きな顔で出ちゃった。Sorry.
Yeah. She's in San Diego doing presentations there. So that okay, everyone, ready? Midori, you're muted. So Midori and Satomi, I hung out with WLI, and as you can see, she's crazy, just like me and Satomi. Uh-oh, are she lying? Yeah. Crazy hair. Yes. I can see it's crazy there. Uh-oh, she's calling me now. Hello? Hi, you ready? Yeah, you guys are really loud. either move your laptop or you can just tell them be quiet and listen to you. Oh, kind of like a, oh. Kenko said, just go outside. She's laughing. You can just talk about your story and kind of do a small business training about how you build your team. And especially because you're building your team to across the nation. Okay. Okay, she just hung up.
I want to see her with her head thing again.
Oh.
She just wanted to put the head thing there.
Yeah.
She was in the studio thing.
So Midori, they want to see what you're wearing on your head.
So head? Oh, the head. Where's that? So I am a huge hamburger.
You can I can see it.
So this is a hamburger costume. It's close to Halloween, so I'm wearing a huge. This is a hamburger. So that's what I'm wearing. Everybody. Okay, all together. Here's the tacos. Tacos. My necklace. Okay, so we are like a crazy many people here in San Diego, and Indonesian people are building the business, and I just want to do a couple of tips for you guys. And what I did is, if you can see this.
Yeah.
I just focus on first achieve a frontier bonus, sign up 10 people, and achieve a full cycle, do 25-35. It's sorry that it's not like you cannot see it. So Spirit and the Summit and CFC. So you focus on achieving each step one by one, and that's how you build the organization. And business builders who join, teach them, coach them, do a same thing. Achieve a frontier bonus, meaning sponsor 10 people and keep the 10 people first. And then achieve full cycle and spirit bonus. Again, you have to commit to the due date, the deadline, by when you want to do it for each step. And that's really simple. All we have to do is this. And keep your 10 full cycle, spirit, and summit, and CFC. I haven't achieved the CFC yet, but I'm working really hard so to help my team member achieve the spirit bonus. And then I just share the amazing business opportunity to the people, because like Satomi said, that we are just the two of us working really hard, but you know, we didn't want to continue working hard. We are hard workers. However, we didn't know what's going to happen to our future as we age. So we were looking for other income opportunity, and our friend introduced us, so we joined presentation via Skype. And our sponsor didn't know we were looking for other income opportunity, because we were focusing on what we were doing. So do not prejudge people, and just to share this amazing business and the product. And we had a presentation today. Some people shared amazing testimonials, like almost like tears coming out. So you really never know who's looking for this product and the business opportunity. And then so you share that to other people, and other people start sharing, and that's how you grow organization. we have a vision to grow globally. And Natural Plus company is going to make the world a healthier, wealthier place. So everybody have peace. So you are in an amazing company. You should be proud of yourself. And Kathy, Kengo, everybody is amazing leaders. So just follow them and then get the guidance or advice, and you always talk to them, and then make sure that you are on the right track. When you start shifting away, doing your own thing, I think you will not be successful. So we're just following the top leaders from Japan, follow the same step, this step, and that's it. Very, very simple, no risk. It has been changing me and Satomi's life, and I hope that we get to see each other soon, and definitely get to see you at the convention. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have a question for me? How she summit? Because I think that's amazing that you hit summit. And how do you manage your team across the nation?
So what I do is do a weekly training every Tuesday and every Thursday. So Tuesday 10 a.m. and Thursday 7 p.m. So the people who are on the call regularly have a really good result. Meaning following the steps, and then we have ups and downs as a human, and when you especially have downs, you really need to talk with your appliance, and then so get your spirit up and then keep motivated. So, and then for example, when you eat bad food, you don't want to stay the feeling and taste bad, really taste bad, and so you want to eat good food to forget about the bad food. So same thing, relationship and everything. So you have to kind of regroup yourself and forget about the bad experience. Some people will say no or something, and then you have to change your mind and then refocus and get excited about sharing this. So what we do during our call is have everybody share their progress and also questions, and then not only the positive things. Sometimes when you're down, we will let those people share and everybody pitch in and give advice. Oh, we've done that, we went through that, and how share how they're overcoming all those issues. So it's really important to communicate with their applying sister line or other leaders and corporate, everything. So I use and I talk to a lot of people when I have a question. And then, so corporate people, Misioko Yamada, and you guys. And so I'm going to kind of like reconsider my focus and everything. So it's really important to be connected with everybody who have a good result and becoming successful. So that's the environment that I'm creating. And I do Zoom training and webinar, and I travel to different states and meet with many people, do ABC presentation, and then teach them how to grow their business. And my case, to become a summit member, I needed to grow my weaker side. So I stayed in New Mexico, Santa Fe, Cisco's house for 3 weeks. And then I developed that my weekend leg, and I achieved split bonus. So whatever it takes, if you decide to do something, commit it and then do it till you become successful. Thank you.
Can we get a testimony from one of the people at your event right now?
Okay, yes. Miyako-san, could you share your daughter and friend's testimonial? Miyako-san has amazing testimonial. 英語でお願いします。ここがカメラなので、ここで。How
are you? I tell my story. My friend in New Mexico, Santa Fe, she sent me the friend. No. But anyhow, my daughter never had a baby. She's been married 6 years. So I give it to her to take this drink, and she usually never take anything, but I give it to her to take, and she will take in 2 weeks. All of a sudden, she called me, Mother, I don't have any period. What? So she tasted that and no. And
pregnancy?
Yeah,
so your daughter took, which product did your daughter take to get pregnant?
3 weeks, yes. She got pregnant, so
with Izimio, she became pregnant.
Yes, it's an amazing story. I'm just so happy now. I'm so happy. I'm becoming grandmother.
One pouch a day?
Yes, one drinks a day. That's what she told.
So she tried to become pregnant for 5 years.
Yes.
Her daughter, and then never became pregnant. But with Izimio, 3 weeks.
Yes.
3 weeks, one pouch a day. She became pregnant.
Yes.
So only Izumio though, she didn't take super lutein.
Also, my friend
Izumio, yes.
Izumio, yeah. Okay.
How much did your daughter take?
Yeah.
One a day.
One a day.
Yes.
3 weeks.
Well, probably two and a half, not quite 3 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good story. True story. It's 100% true story.
And her friend who was suffering from cancer, she's feeling much better.
Yes.
She's going through chemotherapy, but she has more energy, and her skin is more beautiful.
Also, her arthritis gone.
Arthritis. Her fingers were like this, but no longer straight fingers.
How long did she take the products for her arthritis to improve?
Now, probably 2 months. 2 months.
And
2 months.
how many was she taking and which
One a day.
Yes, one a day.
One pouch of Izumio.
Yes.
That's it?
Every time chemo, she's suffering, but she takes Izumio. She said she feel much better. So she asked me to buy more and more. So I give it to her. Now she's so for 3 months. I go to buy another one order for her every month to cancer will cure. I pray for her. Yes, it's amazing medicine. It's amazing story. I'm telling you, amazing story. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I do. She suffered.
So because of that, Mibako-san was not interested in doing business.
Yes,
She came today, hear my presentation.
Yes.
Now she wants to become a business member.
Yes, I am. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? No? Okay, Midori, I think that's it unless you have anything else you want to say. Oh, does this person want to give a testimony?
Happy, I like your personality. I see we have your fan. We watch you with the webinar. I like your personality.
Thank you.
She's your fan. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Go NPUSA.
Okay, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna have Kengo give a few words, and then we're gonna end. So if you guys want to stay on, you can, and listen to Kengo give a small speech. Yeah.
So, following up with what you guys are saying, it's hard to say. Basically, they said everything that we needed to hear. I think. If you don't know who I am, if you don't know, I think I've heard of my story. I've been a realtor here in Hawaii for the last 15 years already, working full-time as a realtor. And I was introduced to this product, this company.
I think you gotta speak on the microphone so they can hear.
I was introduced to this company, this product, through a real estate client of mine. And I always support my real estate clients. So what I'll do is I'll sign up for anything that they bring me for 3 months. And I usually end up quitting after 3 months, figuring that's enough time to build that real estate relationship with them. And but this one was a little bit different. What happened was I actually ended up giving a sample to a friend of mine with this product, and they see huge results within an hour and a half. They could see without their glasses. And that was something to me that, wow, I'd never seen that before. So after that, I just started giving out samples to people, and they see huge results with the product. That's when I decided, hey, wait, I think I can help more people with this product. So that's how I started with this business and this product. I wasn't in it for the business. But the thing I'm going to tell you right now is that I realized is that I started seeing residual income in this. My main business, real estate side, is that the real estate side.
Karen cannot hear you, so yeah, just turn on. She cannot hear you, but
so on the real estate side, it's not residual income, of course. I don't get paid for my last commission check, right? I'm always chasing commissions. And as the years went by, 15 years in the business, as the years went by, I wanted to make more, of course, in real estate, so I worked harder, and I worked harder and harder and harder. And pretty soon, I didn't even have free time. I was working 70, 80 hours a week, it seemed. I was making more, but I was working more. And I just didn't have any family time. I didn't do anything that I love to do. I found myself miserable. I started getting burnt out. And as soon as I started seeing some residual income in this company, then I realized, wait a minute, I can actually change my life with this. Not only other people's lives with this, but I can actually change my own. So I made a commitment at that point, and I think that's what it really takes in this business. First off, you have to have a why, a reason. For me, I didn't see myself working real estate, chasing commissions for the next 20 years of my life, 30 years from now. I don't think I could do it as hard as I was doing it to make a good amount of income. And there's only one me, so I can't make more income, right? So I had to hire a team, which I was hiring a team, but I still was putting in more time and effort. And so as I started seeing this residual income come in, I thought, oh my gosh, maybe this could change my life. I could get my life back to freedom, time freedom, which I wanted. And I figured I'm going to be helping other people at the same time, which I was. I started seeing huge results with other people in regards to, not financially, but health-wise first. But when I started seeing this residual income come in, I decided I made a commitment. First, you believe you have to have a reason why you want to do this. And if your reason is big enough, then you're not going to let anything else stop you. Because they mentioned life happens. Stuff happens in your life where it's going to bring you down. You're not going to wake up every single day wanting to do a business or wanting to get out of bed, especially if you get turned down by your best friend or whatever. But you keep going on. If you have a strong why, a strong reason why to do the business, it's going to bring you through those lulls. And the other thing is you have to make a commitment to get to the end result. Midori talked about commitment. Commitment is very important. There's a lot of different types of commitments out there, though. There's people that say, yeah, I'll do it, but they don't do it. It's like a New Year's resolution where you make it, but you never follow through with it. But if you always have that end goal, it's so strong, the reason why you want to get there is so strong that you will do it. The other thing I want to tell you, though, is that at the very beginning, it's you need speed. You need to be motivated enough to contact people, create your presentations, meet people, give out samples. You need speed, though. It's easy. It's hard to crawl through this business. Every day, do it on your own time. I have a little bit of time today. I have a little time tomorrow to do this. It's hard to crawl through this business. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's hard to also go fast in this business. But it's easier in the end because you're going to make more results if you go fast. So what I want to say is the best thing to do is to launch your group, to launch yourself in this business by putting a goal out there. In the first week, how many people you're going to contact, how many presentations you're going to do, how many samples you're going to be giving out, and hit that goal. Because as soon as you start picking a momentum, it's like pushing a car. You know, when a car doesn't have gasoline, you push that car. It's very hard at the very beginning, but once the car starts picking up speed and you start really pushing on a flat surface, of course, it starts picking up speed and it gets easier and easier and easier. And that's the first thing that you guys have to do is launch your group, help them get off the ground, and keep the pedal, keep the foot on the pedal, keep the gas going, basically, keep pushing them to go forth. Because what happens is momentum starts building, and then pretty soon you just can't stop it. And the reason why you guys got to remember this is because you're going to have to sacrifice for this business. It's something you're going to have to sacrifice your time, your TV time, your sleeping time, maybe, just to meet that extra person. But I'm going to tell you right now that if you sacrifice for what you want now, if you don't sacrifice for what you want now, guess what happens? What you want becomes a sacrifice in the future. You just got to be that reason why you want to get there now, and push through now, because we only have this time. It's still new in the United States. I believe it was 3.5 years in the United States, which is still a baby in the United States. We have so much opportunity in front of us for this company. So what I can say right now is, from today, if you do make that decision, if you make a commitment to not only share the product, but to do this as a business, it's going to change your life, your other friends' lives, your family's life, 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. It's going to make a big difference. So you're going to have to put in the effort right now. You're going to have to make this a priority. I have a lot of people that say, oh, I don't have time to do the business. Well, guess what? Time is a priority, right? Basically, you have other priorities. If you have a strong reason why, then you're going to push this priority to the top, basically, and then make it happen. And then you're going to get those results. It's going to change your life, not only your life, people's lives around you. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've seen huge differences in not only my life, my family's life, but other people's lives around me. And the only thing is time, commitment, and making that effort. All right? So that's all I can tell you today. I didn't write a speech or anything for today, but I want to just tell you guys that that's all you guys need in this business. It's just keep going through it. You just keep doing it every single day. Long-term wise, you will get there. The product speaks for itself. You guys seen amazing testimonies that we heard today. I learned a lot today. But not only that, the system is so different that it will help you get there. And just talk to your upline, get the support that you guys need. That's all I did was learn from Mrs. Taquito. She makes $130,000 a month. All we did was basically follow what she said, get people to seminars, get people to events. That's all you have to do. I didn't do all the speaking myself. I just brought people to events and let them, speak for itself. All right. Thank you guys for coming today. Thank you. Thank you guys. Everybody out there.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. We totally appreciate it. We're going to have our potluck here, and I'm going to pass out some prizes while I'm at it. But thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.
Bye. Everybody say bye. Bye. Bye.
Aloha.